Do you know what the biggest music race in human life is about? It is chasing after a handful of food. From morning till evening, our backbreaking hard work, drowning in office files or peddling a music rickshaw under the scorching sun. At the root of everything is just one thought. At the end of the day, I just want to put a little food in my family's mouth. Our fridges are stuffed with food. Our rice drums are full. And we have money saved in the bank. Music. Yet a fear always lurks inside our minds. What will I eat music tomorrow? Will my children go hungry? This uncertainty, this fear is ingrained in human music nature. But today, I will take you to a chapter in history where there was an entire nation that did not have to worry about this. They did not have to go to the market. They did not have to burn their eyes in the smoke of fire. Nor did they have to dig wells, music, for water. For them, hospitality came directly from the heavens. The Lord of the worlds himself was the guarantor of their provision. In the pages of history, this music event is not just a story, but living proof of human ungratefulness and Allah's infinite mercy. We are music, talking about Bani Israel and the miraculous event of the heavenly food, manna and Salwa down to them. Music, but the context of this blessing was not ordinary at all. Let us travel back in our imagination thousands of years ago to the hot, sandy music deserts of Egypt. After being saved from the long slavery and inhumane torture of Pharaoh under the leadership of Prophet Musa salam, the nation of Bani Israel music crossed the Red Sea and stepped into a new life. Their numbers were huge. Music, thousands of men, women, children, and the elderly. After crossing the Red Sea, music. They arrived at a desolate area in the Sinai Peninsula known in history as the wilderness of Tik. The place was, in a word, terrifying. The blazing sun overhead, hot sand beneath their feet, and a barren desert all around. There were no trees, no source of water, and no settlements. Just think, music about that situation. A newly independent nation with no adequate food or water. In the intense music heat of the desert, the chests of children were bursting with thirst, and the elderly were groaning in hunger. There was wailing everywhere. They came to Prophet Musa salam and started complaining. Their voices held more tones of accusation, music than gratitude. They began to say, "Oh, Musa, we were better off in Pharaoh's kingdom. At least we got 2 meals a day there. Have you brought us to this desert to kill us? We are dying of hunger and thirst." Seeing this restlessness and wailing of Bani Israel, Prophet Musa salam was greatly pained. He knew that in this vast desert music, it was impossible to arrange food and water for these hundreds of thousands of people through human means. So he raised his hands to the court of his Lord. Would you, music, miraculously save this nation from the clutches of Pharaoh, let them die of hunger in this desert? Never. Allah Ta'ala accepted the prayer of Prophet Musa salam. He arranged such royal hospitality for Bani Israel that has not fallen to the lot of any other nation in the history of the world. Allah, the Lord of the worlds, indicated this event in the Holy Quran in Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 57, saying, "And I shaded you with clouds and sent down to you manna and Salwa." Notice that Allah did not mention food first in that open desert plain. A danger greater than hunger was the unbearable heat music of the sun. So Allah first arranged for soothing shade. You know that the desert sky is usually cloudless music, and the sun radiates heat like a ball of fire. But by the command of Allah, suddenly patches of white clouds floated into the sky. These were not dark rain clouds music, but clouds of white tranquility that created a canopy-like shade over the entire nation of Bani Israel. The scorching heat vanished instantly. Music. The rough wind of the desert was suddenly filled with a heavenly coolness. When their bodies' music cooled down in this comfortable environment, the hunger in their stomachs woke up. They looked at Prophet Musa salam again. Shade was found. But what about hunger? What music would fill the stomachs of these thousands of people? There were no crop fields here, no fruit orchards. Right music. Then the second sign of Allah's power began to manifest. Allah arranged for them music. A food for which no seeds had to be sown, no water had to be irrigated, and no cutting or cooking was needed. A miraculous provision began music to descend silently from the sky. People watched in amazement as an incredible event unfolded before their eyes. Music. which was about to become a permanent arrangement for their hunger. When dawn broke in that desolate wilderness, the people of Bani Israel came out of their tents and saw an incredible music sight. They saw that like dew settling in the dark of night. A layer of something stark white music covered the entire plain. At first they might have thought it was snow or ordinary dew, but when they went close and music touched it, they realized it was not an ordinary substance. This was that special food sent by Allah manna. According to the explanation music of the Mufassirin commentators of the Quran, an authentic hadith, this manna was something like naturally formed honey or a music type of sticky sweet substance that settled on tree leaves. It was whiter than milk and sweeter music than honey. Before the sun rose, meaning at the time of Subh-Sadiq music, it would fall from the sky. The people of Bani Israel did not have to struggle to collect this food. Music. They would simply go out with pots and pick up this heavenly sweet as per their need. It would melt as soon as it was put in the mouth and provide instant energy to the body. This manna not only satisfied hunger, but was also a type of cure or healing. That music protected their bodies from the roughness of the desert. But the human body does not survive on sweets alone. To survive, music, protein, or meat is also needed. Allah Ta'ala did not forget this need of his servants. In the latter part of the day, when the time of Asr approached, the music's second phase of Allah's power would begin. A special wind would blow from the south of the desert, and with the force of that wind, music, thousands of birds would fly in and gather around the tents of Bani Israel. These birds are called Salwa. The commentators say these music were a type of quail or small bird whose meat is extremely delicious, music, and fatty. The most amazing thing is that they did not need to set any nets to catch music, these birds. Nor did they use arrows and bows or wait in ambush music for hours. By the command of Allah, the birds would come so within their reach that they could easily catch them with their hands. Then they would slaughter the birds and roast them in the fire. Unbelievably, the taste of this music meat was incomparable, something they had never tasted while in Egypt. On one hand, the sweet and energy-boosting manna, music, and on the other, the delicious roasted sawiris. This was truly a royal feast in the heart of the desert. Think about it. Has any emperor in the world ever been able to make such arrangements for his subjects? Where there is no hassle of cooking, no worry about grocery shopping, no pain of sweating in crop fields. Music. Allah showed Bani Israel a small sample of Jannah paradise right here in this world. He wanted this nation to be free from worldly worries and immerse themselves solely in his worship. Their clothes did not get old or dirty. Their nails and hair did not grow abnormally long. Everything was music, covered in a special blanket of mercy. However, along with giving these abundant blessings, Allah attached only one condition, and this condition was the real test of their faith. Allah informed them through their Prophet Musa alayhi salam, "O Bani Israel, eat and drink music from this food with satisfaction. But beware, do not save any food for tomorrow or the future. Just as I, Allah, have given you provision today, I will give it exactly the same way tomorrow. You just keep your trust in me." This instruction was very clear. Allah wanted to plant the seed of Tawakkul, or complete trust in music, Allah in their hearts. He wanted them to understand that provision does not come from a granary or a safe. Provision comes directly from the heavens. Every morning they would wake up empty-handed and sleep with full music, stomachs by the mercy, clear throat of Allah. This was the lifestyle determined for them. Allah's command was very slight. Do not hoard. But could they obey that command? Or did the worm of primal greed and disbelief inside their minds wake up? How human psychology works after such great hospitality, from the most merciful, is a deep and painful history. For a few days, everything went well. Bani Israel would wake up every morning, music, fill their stomachs with the manna and salwa sent by Allah, and pass the day with a carefree mind. But the human mind is very strange. Music. When everything is obtained very easily and without effort, humans' music forget to value it. Satan sweat a poisonous seed of doubt in their minds. Some of them started thinking, "Masas, Allah will give food every day. But what if the food doesn't come tomorrow? What if manna doesn't fall from the sky? Then we will music die of starvation in this desert." This baseless fear, the uncertainty of tomorrow, shook their faith in Allah's promise. Although Allah's command was clear, do not save for tomorrow, their weak faith and greedy minds' music could not follow that instruction. They started hiding food secretly. Some music in the corners of their tents, some in pots underground, and some wrapped manna and sula in cloths to store it. They thought, how smart we are now. There is no worry for tomorrow. We have stock. They began to rely more on their stored stock music than on Allah's provision. But they forgot that the Allah who can send food from the sky can also take that food away. The very moment they disobeyed Allah's command and hoarded food, a terrible change came over that heavenly food. The next morning, when they opened their pots of stored food, music, they shuddered. The manna that was sweet like honey and pure had melted music and was spreading a foul smell. The suwa bird meat that was delicious had become infested with worms and was emitting a music stench like a rotting corpse. The entire tent area filled with that bad music, smell. The messenger of Allah, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, said about music this event: if Bani Israel had not hoarded food, meat would never have rotted and food would not have spoiled. Meaning this rule of food rotting that we see music today actually started because of that disbelief of Bani Israel. If they had kept full trust in Allah, perhaps that heavenly food would have remained music, uncorrupted forever. Their ungratefulness did not stop there. Luxury took over their tongues. They know music longer felt good eating the same kind of royal food every day. They came to Prophet Musa alayhi salam with a strange music demand. They said, "Oh, Musa, we can no longer have patience with one type of food. We do not like this manna and salwa anymore. Pray to your Lord to arraign for us herbs, music, cucumbers, garlic, lentils, and onions that grow from the earth." Can you imagine? Music, leaving aside the unadulterated, pure and ready-made food from the sky, eating which caused no disease and kept the body fresh. They wanted ordinary food from the dirt. They went crazy for cheap, worldly food, leaving the music menu agenda. Seeing this low mentality of theirs, Allah became extremely displeased. Music, expressing condemnation of their behavior in the Holy Quran, Allah said, "Do you wish to exchange that which is better for that which is lower?" Meaning they kicked away Kaya, or the best, and ran after Adna, or the trivial. As a result of this disobedience, music, this greed, and this extreme ungratefulness towards Allah's blessings, a severe punishment descended upon them. That blessed door of music, heavenly food, closed forever. The nation that could have been the most beloved guest of Allah on the music face of the earth became humiliated due to their own deeds. Hard labor and the whip of poverty became their destiny. And this event is not just a story written in the pages of history. Rather, it is a burning warning for every human being today. Because are we not making the exact same mistake, music, repeatedly in our lives today that Bani Israel made thousands of years ago? Dear audience, hearing the story of Bani Israel, perhaps a smile of scorn has appeared on the lips of many of us. We might be thinking in our minds, how foolish was that music nation? Even after receiving heavenly provision from Allah himself, they could not be satisfied. Music, how could they disbelieve Allah's promise? But come, let us temporarily close the pages of history and look at our own homes for once. Let us stand before our dining tables or look at our own faces, music, in the kitchen mirror. The brutal truth is, unknowingly, we have become the modern-day Bani Israel. Today, our fridges are stuffed with food. We fill trolleys with groceries, music from supers. We hoard sacks of rations at the beginning of the month. Apparently, we call this necessity or caution. But deep down in our hearts, does the same fear not work that was in the minds of Bani Israel? Bani Israel only hoarded food out of fear for tomorrow and us. We save for the next 10 years. Music, even for our grandchildren. We have given it the fancy name of future security. But think deeply is music, the same disbelief, not hidden behind this oversaving. Are we not subconsciously thinking that my bank balance or my accumulated wealth is music? What will save me? And Allah has no hand in my provision. With our mouths, we say Allah is a provider. Music. But our actions prove we rely more on our jobs, businesses, and music save money. Today, there is no lack of food in our society. Music, there's a lack of gratitude. Just as Bani Israel got annoyed with the same food. Today we are doing exactly music the same. When Allah gives us halal and pure food, we cannot be content with it. If there is a little less salt in the curry, music, or if the cooking isn't to our liking, we instantly get angry, push the plate away, or even misbehave with the women of the house. We forget that this handful of rice is like a dream for some people. The amount of food we pile onto our plates at weddings or restaurants, music, and the way we unhesitatingly throw half of it into the dustbin. Seeing this, it seems we have turned into a nation even more ungrateful than Bani Israel. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam warned us, saying, "He is not a believer who eats to his music, fill while his neighbor remains hungry." Yet today, on the other side of the wall of our luxurious flat, perhaps someone is sleeping with a hungry stomach, while we are throwing food in the dustbin, unable to bear the slight hardship of halal provision. We reach out towards haram. Just as Bani Israel leaned toward the onions and garlic under the soil, leaving the heavenly food. We too are chasing after the glitter of interest money, bribe money, and corruption money, leaving the blessings of halal livelihood. It seems to us that the glamour of haram is what life is about. Music, what is the consequence of this? Look around us. Our provision is increasing. Salaries are increasing. But the word barakah, blessing, music, has vanished from our lives. New diseases are nesting in our bodies, which were never heard of before. Even after eating expensive food, there is no peace in our minds. There is unrest and depression in every home. Bani Israel's hoarded food rotted music before their eyes, spreading a stench in the air. And today our food might stay fine in the fridge, but our dill or hearts have music rotted. Gratitude has died in our hearts. When a blessing is in the palm of one's hand, humans do not value it. This is the eternal music and destructive nature of humans. Will we continue like this, or is there a way to music return from this destructive path? Is there a way open to bring back our lost barakah and attain Allah's pleasure? Yes, there is. And we must know that path of solution now. So what is the way? This constant ungratefulness for blessings, this lifting of barakah from our lives. Where is the escape route from this terrible music situation? There is no need to despair. Just as Allah, the Lord of the world's music, is a severe punisher, He is also the most merciful and forgiving. The history of Bani Israel has not come just to scare us, but to teach us to bring back our lost barakah and attain Allah's pleasure. We must bring music, 3 fundamental changes to our lifestyle. The first change is tawakkul, or unwavering trust in Allah. We must bring back that belief which the sparrows possess. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said if you could rely on Allah exactly as the birds do, music, you would be provided for as they are. Birds leave their nests hungry in the morning and return music, with full stomachs in the evening. Think birds have no fridge, no bank balance, no savings for tomorrow. Music, yet they do not die of starvation because their trust is not on the tree branch. Their music, trust is directly on the creator of that branch. We too, alongside our work, must keep that trust in the owner of provision. Remember, my provision is fixed. It will come to me. Therefore, music. Ruining today's worship and mental peace, worrying about what music I will eat tomorrow is not the work of a believer. Secondly, we must build the habit of gratitude. Stop finding faults with food while sitting at the dining table. Instead of complaining that salt is low or it is too spicy, music. Practice saying alhamdulillah and eating whatever is there with satisfaction. Music. Remember the plate you are pushing aside. Someone on the other side of the world might be searching through a dustbin for that food. Allah has said, if you give thanks, I will surely increase your favors. Therefore, the key to increasing provision is to music. Stop complaining and express gratitude. The third and most important solution is sadaqah or charity. Bani Israel hoarded food, so it rotted. The philosophy of Islam is the exact opposite. Islam, music, says if you hold on to it, it rots. If you give it away, it becomes immortal. If you want to purify your provision, if you want barakah in your wealth, then lift food music from your plate to another's plate. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam taught us that wealth does not decrease by giving charity. Rather, music, it returns multiplied many times over. Let us promise from the day we will not waste. Before throwing food in the dustbin, we will think AH 100 times and fulfill the rights of the hungry people around us. Dear audience, life music is very short. It is not wise to cry out for the meager food of this world and be music, deprived of the food of eternal Jannah in the hereafter. Come, let us not be a cursed music nation like Bani Israel, but write our names in the court of Allah as grateful servants. O our Lord, expand our provision, keep our earnings halal, and grant our hearts the ability to trust in you. Forgive our ungratefulness, and include us among those servants who are content with little and are immersed in your remembrance. If today's discussion has touched your heart even slightly, music, or left an impression on your thoughts, please share this message, music, with your loved ones. Stay with us by subscribing to our channel for more educational and life-changing Islamic content. Who knows, perhaps a single share from music, you or your support for this initiative could lead a person to turn away from ungratefulness and fall into prostration before their creator, music, and that very act to become the means of your salvation. May Allah grant us all the ability to practice what we have learned. Amen.